Now here's Pastor Charlie with today's bread.
Now, have you ever wondered what happens when people repeatedly ignore God's warnings? Well, at first, it may seem like there are no consequences. But the Bible reminds us that a heart that continually rejects God eventually faces the results of that choice. Howdy, and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Today's Bread. Now, this week's topic is rejecting ungodly attitudes, and today we're focusing on sacrilege brings judgment. Now, the scripture references are 1 Samuel chapter 2, verses 22 through 25, also verses 34 and 35, and one more, 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 17. Now, yesterday, we learned about Eli's sons and their contempt for the holy things of God. Today, we see just how far their rebellion had gone. Not only were these men abusing their priestly position, they were also involved in serious immorality. Their actions dishonored God, corrupted worship, and damaged the spiritual lives of the people they were supposed to lead. Well, Eli, now an old man, confronted his sons and warned them about their behavior. He tried to correct them, but they refused to listen. Their hearts had become hardened. They no longer respected God's authority or cared about His holiness. This is a sobering reminder for us. When people continually reject God's truth, they become less sensitive to His voice. What once troubled their conscience no longer bothers them. That's why it's so important to respond when God convicts us and calls us to change. Because of Eli's son's rebellion, God declared judgment on Eli's household. The priesthood would be taken from Eli's family, and both sons would die on the same day. Later, during a battle against the Philistines, that prophecy actually come true. They died on the same day. They were killed, and the Ark of the Covenant was captured. When Eli heard the news, he was so shocked and grieved that he fell backward, broke his neck, and died. These events remind us that God takes sin seriously. His patience is great, but His holiness is real. A life that continually disregards God eventually pays a price. So today ask yourself, in what ways do people show disregard for God? More importantly, am I listening when God speaks to me? A humble and responsive heart is always the safest place to be. So thank you for joining us today. Now I want to encourage you to come be a part of God's family. Now Tuesday's prayer focus for America is that we would pray that children, teens, and young adults will be grounded in truth, mentored in faith, and equipped to stand strong. Now remember, Jesus is coming back soon. And now here's Tuesday's blessing. I bless you with the knowledge that God will cause you to forget the pain of your past and make you fruitful and prosperous in your future. Now remember, it's one devotion, one step closer to Jesus. So see you next time on Today's Bread.